Ladies and gentlemen, so if you sign a new client for a social media marketing agency, what do you do? In this video, I'm going to basically explain, or it won't be me, it'll be my business partner, Bo. Bo's going to explain how to basically, when you sign a new client, what is the standard operating procedure for making sure that client is properly well received into your business. Now, last week, I uploaded a video on our onboarding process, the funnel, the guide, and stuff like that, so that might also be useful. But in this video specifically, for our agency, when we had NorthFlow Consulting before we sold our clients, we basically had 64 done few clients, and we would onboard new clients every single week, like 5-6 clients a week sometimes. And what we did is we devised a very specific standard operating procedure, or SOP for short, and we would roll that out for every new client that came on board. And today I want to share it with you because a lot of people need this stuff, because the initial conditions of most agency owner and client relationships are pretty shaky because there are no procedures. So after you watch this, it will be very clear. Now, this is from EasyGrow, our paid program. If you want to check that out, you click the link in the description. Don't care if you click it or not. It doesn't bother me. Just watch this video, get some value, and subscribe if you're feeling generous. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Imperium Agency Incubator Service Delivery, the onboarding session. And in today's video, we're going to go over a little SOP, a standard operating procedure I've created for you guys, just so you can start systemizing the way that you sign on clients and the step-by-step approach you take once you've actually signed those clients. As the way to scale any business is by systemizing every little procedure and structure in your business, as that's the only way to scale, right? We can have a lot of freedom and creative spirit when we have a couple of clients, but as soon as you start landing 5 clients a week, 10 clients a week, 20 clients in a month, you're going to need to systemize all these little parts of the business, starting with what you actually do when a client signs on. And the great thing about SOPing this and documenting all of it is that eventually, once you start scaling to really big levels, you'll be able to onboard your team members very easy, and you'll be able to just give them these SOPs so they can take care of it for you, right? And that's what we're going to be doing in this video. So without further ado, let's get into it. So I've created a very good usable SOP for you guys that is obviously available in the download section below as a PDF version. Now, what we're going to start with, I'm getting a couple of messages here on Slack. Some of you will be familiar with that little notification there. So without further ado, so the first of all thing is obviously you get a new client. So woohoo, you've got a new client. That's absolutely brilliant. Now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going over the next steps of the process. So you've signed on a new client. He or she is ready to go ahead. That's absolutely brilliant. Great job on that. You've obviously done the sales process correctly. Now the second thing is the second step is get a payment. So always get some form of payment before any of the work starts. This is rule number 1 to running a agency. This can be a management fee, a one-time payment, a startup fee, a deposit. I don't care if you're doing pay on performance, you're doing management fee with a guarantee, whatever you're doing, get money up front. It doesn't have to be the full payment, it doesn't have to be what you're owed. Just make sure that you get paid up front before any work starts. As I see this so many times happening with starter agencies, is they get a new client, or they at least get a yes, right? They do all this work, they get funnels ready, they write ads without getting any form of payment, and then a week later the client changes his mind, or the client ghosts you, and you've done all of this work without actually getting paid for it. Get commitment from the client, so there's an agreement there, not just from the contract standpoint but also from the monetary standpoint. Getting paid and having a client pay you is a great sort of emotional agreement that you have between the company and the client, where the client is truly convinced and is truly ready to get started. So that's option 2. So the way that we do that is we use pay funnels for our own agency. You can also use PayPal if that isn't available to you. I don't really recommend PayPal. It's just not reliable at all. I've heard so many nasty stories about PayPal holding thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars in accounts for months on end. This has not happened to me personally, but I don't recommend using PayPal, but it is an option you can use. And that's why I've added a never keep money on your PayPal account, as I see so many people using PayPal as like their savings account. And trust me, just use a normal bank account that is, FDA approved, or whatever you're using, right? Just make sure that you're using a real legit bank account that just insures your money. Just keep it all in a secure place, because PayPal is for sure not to be trusted. So you can use PayFunnels. If you're using something else that does the exact same thing, just keep doing that. If you're still looking for a good way to capture payments, we highly recommend PayFunnels. So this basically means that this is a link to something. So in the PDF, you can click this yourself and you can go to PayFunnel. So this is what PayFunnel is. It's super easy. It's basically made for online businesses and agencies. It makes invoicing super easy. You can create an invoice in like 10 seconds. With all types of like free trials attached to it, monthly recurring revenue, you know, the amount of months people want to be charged. You can also set up one-time payments, all types of currency fees. It's what we use. It works incredibly well. It's what a lot of big companies use as well, and it's super easy to use because it basically just shoots out a simple payment link instead of like this big invoice or whatever, and the client can just use the link if they don't give credit card or something like that. Now what we have done is we've connected our PayFunnels account to our payment provider Stripe, which is where we capture all revenue, and this is what a payment would look like, and that's just what we use. There should be a line here between Stripe payment to bank account, but that's kind of, you know, just imagine that basically. That's where where all of our agency revenue goes to, and then after that it gets transferred over to our business account. So that's option 2. Main takeaway from number 2 is always get some form of payment before any of the work starts. Then the third is send over a contract. Get that contract signed very fast. Get the payment and then get the contract signed. Those are the first 2 things before any other work starts. Before you schedule onboarding calls, before you do anything else, get payment and send over the contract and make sure it's signed. So you can use HelloSign, which is a software. You can use DocuSign, which is the one we use, and we can use PandaDoc. Now we've got a little help video for you here. Thought it'd be very useful for you guys if you're using DocuSign or you're thinking of using DocuSign, that you can click on in the PDF version. Now this is basically the video, so I'm just gonna kind of show you how it would work on DocuSign, and just to show you that you can do this SOP in literally 5 minutes. Like that's how long it takes to get all of these steps done, just to show you how fast you can get to work on this. So here we go. All right, so that kind of goes to show how easy that is. If you're still choosing between signage contracts or signage softwares, I'd recommend just going with DocuSign. Not because PandaDoc or HelloSign isn't better, but simply because we use DocuSign, so we'll be able to offer you the most support on that software. And that would be step 3, and those 2 steps would really be the first 2 things before any work starts, like I said. After that, so if you can use just an onboarding funnel, and this kind of all combines together, and we're going to go over onboarding funnels in different videos and stuff like that. An onboarding funnel is really just where everything already is, so you can just send your client a login or a a funnel, a link, and all of the onboarding stuff will be taken care of. So that's basically just all the options. However, we've also added some extra options if you don't use an onboarding funnel. Send over a welcome email, just letting them know how great of a decision they made working with you and the next steps, right? Then send over an onboarding document or a question form if you have one. Usually this contains just simple business information questions, maybe some logins that you need, like login information, creative that you need, etc., etc. Admin access to the Facebook Business Manager, of course, if they have one. If they don't have one, you're obviously going to need to create one for the client, which is again can be done in the onboarding funnel. And that's step one. So this can be a funnel you've built out yourself, or it can just be a simple PDF. Step-by-step PDF numbered from, for example, 1 to 10, connected to certain looms, showing how certain parts of the steps need to be done. When it comes to maybe building the business manager, it's good to kind of give visual reference and show clients how that needs to be done, and then how to invite you to that said business manager. So when that is done, the easiest way is by just having an onboarding funnel. So you can just send a login and a link, and you can do that in like 10 seconds. Then after that, schedule the onboarding call. For most of you, for 99%, most agencies do an onboarding call, and I do recommend that, where you kind of just go over, just everything that is necessary to get started. Schedule that in on the calendar as early as possible, preferred. And then number 6 is onboard on your support system. So we're going to go over support systems and the support systems we use, but this can be Slack, this can be email, WhatsApp, or any other different type of software, Facebook. Just set them up with onboard with the support system, and make sure that you make it clear to the client that any form of communication is going to go through this support system. Keep support nice and central. Will help you in so many ways I cannot even explain once you start scaling to multiple clients. So that is this video. Download this little onboarding doc. And why this is great is not just because you don't know these things, but it's great to build SOPs like this and kind of have that in the file for when you start hiring people for these type of jobs, because the simple thing you can do is really just give them an SOP like this, and they'll be able to go at it, plug and play like so. So that was this video. That was the new client SOP. I'll see you guys in the next one. Let's go.